Hello, welcome back to the Everything in 30 podcast with Joshua Durand and
Thomas Sykes. How's it going,
hey,
Josh?
I'm doing pretty well. What about you?
uh, I'm doing great. What is it? We are in the first. I was about to say this is the first week of September for the podcast, so I'm like, no. Last week was September 2nd. We recorded.
Yeah, what do you call it? I finally got a new mic. I mean, I'm not using a new mic right now. This is still my old mic, but I got a new mic
Yeah,
in the mail today. It was supposed to come in the mail like 2 days ago, but we won't talk about that.
we're
But
not gonna talk about
anyways, it's a nice
that.
mic. It's like professional quality, and hopefully
Professional,
I can.
professional. Just the way I said it's like professional.
Hopefully I can use it on a nice podcast, but I have to set it up on my laptop because
Yeah.
I can't do it on my phone, obviously.
What is it? You can use the USB thing. I actually, what is it? Because does that connect?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because that's what I did.
I
Because
should
I
try
have,
that.
I have, what is it? My cousin gave me these speakers that connect to my computer, and they're the ones that like you plug it in, and whenever you hear like the bass drop, the water like springs up.
Yeah,
And I found, and I was in my phone case one day, and I found the connector, the two little the extra
yeah,
connectors where like the one where you plug into to like the old USB, and you can connect that with USB-C connect to the Samsung phone because we have Samsungs.
yeah.
But then I found another one that it was a USB that connected to the phone. I'm like, let me try seeing if this connects to my phone. And luckily enough, it worked. And I was like, oh, this actually
So
is really good.
you tried a USB-C to a USB output like
Yeah,
converter, and it worked?
yeah. What is it?
Oh.
You should have one that came with your phone.
Yeah, it comes with the phone, right? I should,
Yeah,
I might try. I might just try. I know what a box is. I might just try to do it right now.
I know.
You think I should try that?
What is
You think
it?
I should try that?
Hey, if you want,
Okay.
honestly, we're only a minute in, Josh. You want to be the weirdest thing you've done on this podcast?
Okay.
Like,
Keep talking. Keep
honestly.
talking. Keep talking. Go ahead.
Anyways, what is it? Today's been a good week. We started. Everyone knows that we started. As we said last week and live podcast, we said that schools are opening up. Especially in the New Jersey area, they're opening up. This week, and what is it? Me and Josh are both doing a hybrid model, and we are going in on separate days. Josh going in on a Monday and Tuesday, where I'm going in Thursday and Friday. And since this week was Labor Day, there was no school for everyone, so we started on Tuesday. And so, what is it? We're gonna go and we're just gonna share me and Josh are gonna just share some experiences. I'm waiting for Josh to come back, and I'm waiting for Josh to be like, wait, hold on, I didn't know we were sharing experiences. But anyways, we're gonna basically we're just gonna give our rundown. And then next podcast, because since Josh went virtual today and yesterday. Sorry, he went in person yesterday and today. Um, I'm hoping that he shares his experiences, but I'm going to share my experience of just doing virtual. So, hopefully that, and I'm hoping that when it comes to a bunch like these schools, especially our audience, we hope that if you're in the teenagers, college students, um, what is it? I was gonna say grade school students, because I don't know. Would you people consider is grade school? Would you consider high school grade school too? Like I don't think so. I don't think you would, because then it's not really grades. That just
What are you
becomes
talking about?
no. I got confused for a second. I was telling the audience about how what is it? Because we both went back to school this week. You went to school. I did virtual for the first part. I said we're going to share some experiences of what we think about the new
Okay.
world. The new world. That's what we're calling it, Josh. The new world.
The new
Welcome,
world.
what is it? I'm waiting for someone. I'm waiting for like John. Was it for, Jurassic Park movie? Sean Hammond to go. Welcome to the new world. Instead of saying welcome to Jurassic Park, welcome to the new world. Like, you go into school, everyone's wearing masks. Ba ba da 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 da.
Well,
You're
I'm still in
walking
the
down.
process
You're
of
walking
trying to
down the
find these.
hallways. You're walking down the hallways. Instead of seeing dinosaurs come out, you're seeing teachers with masks, saying socially distant. Da 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 da.
I'm still just trying to find this my phone box. I know I saw it a couple seconds ago. I'm halfway there. I can feel it. Give me like one more minute. Keep talking, all right?
Okay, what is it? I'll start sharing my experiences with this cool, with actually going virtual. I just say it's interesting, to say the least, how this all works, because the idea behind this entire thing is to keep, as I think we say this before on the podcast, but it's to keep half the school separate from the other half, half the students separate from the other half. Bleh, I can't speak. And the whole as a whole, I think this is what they're doing is pretty good. Of course, people, not everyone's gonna agree with it, but for the materials that for the materials that the state's been given, and we said this before, when it comes to this pandemic, no one really expected it, but at the same time, you really you don't know what's gonna happen. Neither do you know. You don't know what's gonna happen, but you just kind of hope for the best. What is it? As they said in the 12, as it was stated in the 12 Chairs by Mel Brooks, that movie. Hope for the best, expect the worst. You could be Tolstoy or Pantyhurst. I think that's how you say. I honestly forgot. Oh my gosh, I sung that song so many times. It's honestly a really great song. Hope for the best, expect the worst. Man, that's a great song.
We have an update.
Oh, what happened?
I found it.
Yay! Took you 6. What is it? We're almost 7. What is it? I think we're 7 minutes into the podcast. I started the stopwatch but yay! You did it, Josh. I'm so proud.
Now let's see if this thing
This is when the Martian Man. This when the Martian Man cuts on the ba 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 da 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 da. Or like, what is it? In Pokemon, when you complete the Pokédex. Da 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 da.
Let's see if this thing works.
I like how like the first I like how what is it? We're not even 10 minutes in, and I'm already like referenced like three different pieces of music, like Jurassic Park. Unless you're gonna be one of those sticklers, be like, well, are you sure it's not Jurassic World? You're sounded a little bit more modern. Then I'm like, shut up! It's Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. They're the same exact thing. Just one says world, one says park.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, wait a second. I'm about to say if this thing works. Hold on.
Okay. Let's be patient. We're gonna give Josh a minute. Then we will commence the topic about schools, and then I don't know. We'll just see what happens. Because honestly, this could take up like a half hour. Just us yelling about the school system.
I have it plugged in, but it's just not going.
Do you have the Oh, is your case off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is it? Now do you only have the USB plugged in?
Yeah.
Did it also come with a? I was gonna say, did it also come with a headphone jack?
No, of course not.
Okay. Because then I'm not really sure. Maybe it only works for the computer. I'm not really sure.
I mean, I have it plugged in for PlayStation. I did everything like that.
Well, I'm like, maybe does it say it's designed to work on phones?
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on anyway. So, Josh, what is it? My virtual story is gonna be short. I can't wait to hear about the school experience you got. But
Yeah.
here's the school experience I got. Okay, so the first two periods I had the exact same teacher, but me and Josh had the same class first period, and you know the teacher's great and everything, great teacher, and we're in there, and what is it? Um, what is it? We're sitting there, and well, I'm sitting at home, and teacher's like, okay, everyone, he goes on and says like, he's like, Josh, read a sentence. Read this right here. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to hear him. I can't hear anything. It's like, okay, now you, whatever your name is, play. Read the second part. He reads it. I still can't hear anything. What I find out, the guy's wearing a headset. So the microphone is only, so he's the only one that can speak into the microphone, and no one else can hear him. I'm like,
Yeah.
so I can't hear anyone else. I'm like, that's funny. And then he tells us, he goes, just so you guys know, if you aren't able to hear, tomorrow bring a pair of earbuds with you. That way you can just put them in and listen to me through Google Meet. I'm like, the only reason why I'm gonna go into Google Meet, I'm just gonna be like, hey Josh, while he's sitting in bed, because what is it? I think you said this before. Their guidelines are you can't sit in your bed. You gotta sit up and be like ready to work. I'll be seeing Josh sitting in bed, lights off, probably still sleeping.
Probably. What do you call it? On our end, it wasn't much better. Like he would call on one of you guys to read, right? And today he just didn't have the speakers on at all. So he would say, I don't know, let's say he called on you. He would say, Thomas, read this. And then it would just be like a minute of silence. And then he would just start talking about it.
Yeah,
It would be so
it's
awkward. It's like,
like, okay. It's like, okay, I guess we can read, but
Yeah,
oh
that
my
class was
gosh.
interesting though. The in-school experience is kind of interesting. First, you get to school, right? And for our class, it starts about 20 minutes later than usual because the homeroom is 7:20, and then the actual class starting time now is 7:40.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions about that. What is it? When we get towards the end of the school day, but um, what's it like? Because I know you went in through senior entrance, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I
Oh,
did.
and I should explain. When it comes to our school, there's three different points that you can get in. There's the main point where all the buses come in, and you can go, and most students go through that door. There's another entrance by the main office where students can go in, but it's more like mostly staff go through there. And then
Yeah.
the last point is the senior parking lot where basically they charge you $60 to pay there. The $60 to pay there, yes. $60 to park there, and basically seniors can go in through that entrance. Now, what's it like going through there?
Okay, so going there in the morning isn't so bad. Basically, you just go there, you park, you leave, you just wait outside for a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's so terrible. Like if you just sit there and look at the parking lot for like 10 minutes, seeing everybody pull out and go onto the road and everything, like you'll see like so many potential crashes. Like one of our friends, Colin, right?
Mm.
So my dad just picked me up, and I heard my other friend yelling stop, right? So I turn around and he's pulling out, and some kid is just going full speed turning, and they
You're
almost hit each
kidding.
other. Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like these kids do not know how to drive. Just being a little bit honest.
What is it?
But yeah,
I've been getting practicing, so I just just that way that way I understand like what's gonna happen like when I get into school, because I drove out to Allentown yesterday, and I drove out to Allentown today, and I drove there, I parked in my spot just like get a feel for how it's going to be, and
yeah,
I surprisingly feel really comfortable. What is it? Where my parking spot is, because how the parking lot is laid out is you pull in. You pull in and you go straight, and like right in the middle there's like there's a turn area and you can either go straight, keep going down for more parking spots, or you can turn and go right in the middle. And where that turning spot is, like I can like instead of going straight all the way into that first parking spot, I'm like one parking space over, which is amazing because it's just a matter of me turning and just scooching over a little bit, getting into that little spot.
Hmm.
Plus, it's nice being surrounded by all my friends because,
Yeah.
well, no, well, since all of you guys have, what is it? Since all you guys go the day, but what is it? The Monday and Tuesday, and I go, what's it? Thursday, Friday. I have like this huge open space
Yeah. What do
where
you
it's
call
like,
it?
if I mess, where it's like, let's say I mess up, I can just throw the. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like no one else is going here, but like it's still nice though.
Yeah. Another interesting thing about how the school day ends, right?
Uh-huh.
So what they do for dismissal because of the COVID stuff and everything, they do dismissal by hall, right? But before they do the halls, they do any senior who's driving can leave, right? So they all leave, and that's like 11:20. So
Hmm.
everybody goes outside, and then the last people they call are the people who are driving with seniors. So the seniors who are driving their little siblings and stuff, they don't leave until another 15 minutes later. So
You're
it doesn't really make
kidding.
any sense. They should do
You know
the
what?
seniors go outside first and then the siblings go outside if they drive with them.
You
That
know
would be
what?
way quicker.
But
Yeah.
I can understand that though, if you really think about it, because let's just say like half the senior class it has is takes a sibling with them. Let's just assume that for a second. It's probably gonna keep down the number of crashes because if you give them about 15 minutes just to get out of that, if you get the people that are alone 15 minutes just to get out of that parking lot, then you have then it's another. Then by the time you actually get the other siblings out, then that's just more time for them to that way the second group of seniors can get out. So I understand that from a point where it's like okay, they're just trying to like prevent the number of crashes because less people they're gonna try to get less people to leave all at once. To try to beat the buses, that's the big thing. But at the same time, I can
Yeah.
also understand like it's kind of dumb at the same like because people are gonna be like, well, I drive now, and they're gonna be like, wait, what? Like what is that? Like I don't know about you, Josh, but you're a senior and you go home with one of our friends, like just because what is it? Let's just assume for a second that what is it that your parents and their parents they both agree it's like okay, yeah, we get there's a pandemic outside, but we're fine with you two getting in a car together. Then it's almost like then it's kind of weird because it's like, well, I'm a senior, I can drive, but you're going with someone and so you're leaving. It's kind of weird, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
But since we
Like
talked about the dismissal, we talked about the beginning of the day. So how are
no,
your classes in the middle of the day? Because for me, I have study hall, which is easy, and then I also have research and themes, which isn't too bad.
oh yeah, I forgot. I have research and themes that second semester, but the I have the same teacher again second period for I have genocide. That's a decent class. I find that when is it even though like I have the guy first period and then I have a second period, I find that
Yeah,
time flies a lot faster that second period. And
yeah,
in third period, like I'm like, okay, that's third period. What is it? I have math and I have that with Andrew and Colin. So that's fun because and the
yeah,
funny part is I can tell that teacher has a better mic because she has the mic up and I can hear Colin. I just faintly I can hear him like just like laugh or something like or he's gonna listen to this and be like, wow, you creep. I'm like I can like just hear them like faintly and I can tell it's them just because of how they talk. I can just hear it.
yeah, yeah. What do you call it? Right now I have senior practicum, and also I have what's the other class? What's the first class? Economics
Comics
honors. There we go.
honors.
Yeah, that's the one I have with everyone, and then I have study hall second period. Now for that one, even though it's study hall, that one goes by longer because during a usual year without like the COVID stuff and everything, study hall would
Mhm.
be like funner. I don't even think that's a word, but whatever. Study hall would be more fun because you can go to the library, you can just relax there. You don't have to
But now
worry
you
about
can't.
anything. Yeah, now, and first of all, there's way too many kids in our classroom, so now we're going to the auditorium every single day, at least for the first week, she said.
No, no,
And
no, no. He
then,
just meant for the first 2 days.
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
What is it?
But
Because
anyways,
I gotta look at that message again. Because he sent out a remind message to everyone. He's like, "Hey, just so you know, what is it?" Because I will not be meeting with you today or tomorrow. I gotta say, when a guy writes a message,
who, Mr. Wick?
wow, Josh, you don't say the name of the guy. That's what I was
Oh,
trying not to do.
I didn't know you were talking about him. I was like, oh,
No, no, no.
yeah.
No, but I was like, well, anyways, I was reading the text and because of the remind text and it goes, fall practicum. What is it? I will not be. And there were so many, like, he shortened it up so fast, and I was like, wait, why is he doing this? And because he goes, I will not be the letter B meeting with you, just the letter U today with the number two and then wrote day, or
Oh my,
two with the number two tomorrow.
he might be getting kidnapped.
I believe there will be an announcement to go to auditorium for study hall. Listen
Yeah.
for instructions. And I was like, first off, just to critique. I was like, first off, just a critique. To go to auditorium, I'm pretty sure to go to the auditorium. I'm critiquing the guy on how to write. It's
To
just,
creek him,
if
yeah.
if he listens to this, he's gonna go, man, that. It's like that rat, that cheeky. I'm gonna kill him. What is it?
Yeah, but
To go, and then he didn't, and then after he does for auditorium for study hall, period, doesn't capitalize the L in listen.
listen,
I feel
he might have just been in a big hurry. Maybe he was getting something to eat. You don't know.
yeah.
Maybe he was getting kidnapped. Sounds like he was getting kidnapped because
Oh my
that's
gosh.
terrible grammar. That's like when your text message. He might have been on
That's
this. He might have been on his phone because that's like when your text
that could
message.
have been Josh. Josh, it's like reading a text message from you, except when you write it out, you at least put the whole word in and just
But yeah, a bunch
messed
of
up the
typos.
sentence. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He just puts a bunch of abbreviations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What do you call it though? Research and themes though. That class is actually pretty interesting so far. I mean, there's nothing really big about it yet. Our first assignment was it was like this assignment. We would describe ourselves with a song, basically. I mean, we don't make a song. We get a song from like the internet, and that song will describe us, and we write about why it describes us. So yeah, that was our first assignment. Did you do research and themes yet or no?
Did I? No, I had the second semester. I don't know why they took me like a minute. It's like,
Oh.
no, the second semester. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I'm glad I have it first semester though, because I did not want to do it second semester. I have a lot of big classes second semester, so
Mhm.
yeah. You think we're still gonna have COVID second semester?
You know what? Honestly, anything's possible. I'm still a firm believer that whatever happens in this election is going to decide, how much longer the plan is going to be before we open up everything.
Yeah,
Um, what is it? I just firmly, I'm honestly just done with like everything that's happened during this pandemic. Like, it's gotten to the point where I'm just kind of tired of all of it. Like, I'm tired of when the like what is it? Like, I'm all for, like, let's try to fix everything. Like, let's get these masks. It's like we need to protect against the virus. I'm
yeah.
trying to the point where I'm like, hey, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm tired of wearing the masks. I'm tired. What's it? I'm tired of what is it? I'm tired of half the things in the world being closed, and you have to wait like a year and a half for them to open up. I'm tired
Yeah.
of what is it? One government official saying to another government official, like, okay, what can we do to make the lives just a little bit more difficult? And then because that's what I think this whole thing really is it's just getting to me, and I'm like and, I'm done with all this stuff. Like I'm done. Like no offense. Like I'm gonna say this, just no offense, like to the Black Lives Matter protest, but I'm done with I'm done with that. I'm done with that protest. I'm done with the Trump protest. I'm done like with the Trump supporters going all over the place. I'm done with the Biden supporters because
So you're just done with everything.
I'm really just done. I'm like, come on, guys, I'm like, can you just stop? Like this year at the what is it? The one protest that was on the freeway. I think it was like a couple days ago.
Nah,
There's
haven't
they
really
were
paying
trying to
attention.
start they're trying to do a Black Lives Matter protest in the middle of a freeway. At least I think that's what it was. I'm like, in the
That's
middle of a
interesting.
freeway? And then they're yelling at the cops, like trying to like that are like yanking them out of the cars, like tell them like go leave now. They're like, you can't tell us what to do. And they're like, first off, first off, they're the cops. They're the guys with the gun. You don't yell at the guy with the gun. I'm like, that's like watching Freddy Krueger come up to you with like the knives in his hand, but like with the knife fingers about to slice you in half, and you going, "You can't do this to me, you racist." it's like it's
Uh,
like the guy's still gonna kill you. It's like I wouldn't do that. Running is a better option.
yeah,
I'm
there's been a
like,
lot of interesting things happen during this quarantine.
what is it? And I'm done with the what is it? You got I'm surprised I haven't really seen any like Biden supporters do anything, but like I'm just done with like the Trump supporters just going like I find the Trump supporters they're just going out there and they're what is it? And it's gotten to the point where they're going against the Black Lives Matter protesters. Like I was watching a couple of these videos and you just see them just like getting in each other's face, like what is it? There's one they were doing a what is it? The Trump supporters they were doing a whole thing right outside of Trump Tower. I think it was like in New York. And you just
Yeah,
have like the protesters going like surrounding them and they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. And then you have, then you got these and you got the
that's an accurate representation.
it's an accurate
He just
representation too.
he just
And then you got the Trump supporters going like Trump 2020. And I'm like, honestly, I'm like, whatever can get this pandemic to stop.
yeah.
But oh, you want to know one of the saddest thing, and I saw this the other day. Did you see the protesters? They're going up to I want to see outdoor. I was watching the news. That's what it was. Watching the news, and
Yeah.
there were these Black Lives Matter supporters. I'm not saying they're all bad. I'm just saying it's like, what are you doing? They're going up, and they flipped over a table where this old couple was eating. I'm like, why? I'm like, I'm like, I doubt they were saying racist stuff towards you. That I'm like, what's the point? What is it? They were chasing people out of what is it, of a restaurant? I'm like, why?
I feel like I might have seen that. What I did see this one video of people outside of a restaurant. That's about it.
I'm like, I'm just so tired of all these people. I'm just tired of people just trying to like take it off, like just take it to themselves, just like to like just I'm just tired of all these. I'm tired of protesters. I'm tired of the virus. I'm tired of I'm tired of all these supporters. I'm tired of supporters conflicting with the protesters. I'm tired of the rioters. I'm just tired of everyone. I just think it's honestly.
Thomas
I'm
is
just
just anti
I'm
everything.
waiting. I'm waiting
He's
for
just
someone just to argue with me and I'll just explode and I'm just gonna be like, oh, you think that's the reason why we're all doing this? Because
Thomas is
you
just
know I would do that.
anti anything.
Oh my gosh! And then you have what is it? Then you have the morons that then you have the along with the protesters, which with the ones that are actually peaceful protesters, you have the people that are dropping off bricks I'm like, you're giving
You seen
people
that? Did you see
that
that?
are angry at the
Yeah,
police
I've seen that one
bricks.
time. Yeah.
I'm like, and then you have Fox, and then you hear Fox News. They're just like,
People think
you
that's a
see that?
government though. People think that's
I
like a government conspiracy that
so
they're dropping bricks in
people.
towns for people to throw
I
the
think
stuff.
it was Antifa. That's what I think it was.
That's what people. I don't know.
What is
There's a
it?
lot of conspiracies.
But the part that I'm like, what are you doing? Is you have like what is it, you they're called what is it? You have Fox News going, man, these protesters, it's like, do you see they're all bad. They're all terrible people. Then you have CNN going, look, peaceful protesting. And so one guy's chucking a brick at an officer. I'm like, you guys are idiots. Why are you just chucking bricks at people with guns? I'm like, have we not learned anything? Remember the old saying, don't bring a
I will
knife to a
say.
gunfight? Don't bring a knife to a gunfight? What are you doing?
I will say there was this one really funny video, and I didn't, and I don't condone any like violence or anything like that. But there was this one really funny video. And there was this officer getting out of his car, right? And some dude threw a cone, and a cone perfectly landed on the officer's head. It was the funniest crap I've seen in a
Oh my
while.
god. What is it? You
I
know
was like,
what's something?
oh
And I
man.
just say it's truly like, oh my gosh. Like, what is it? I found this. I saw it. There's YouTube videos out there of these cars of like people in cars, like they're banging on the car window, like trying to get them out for doing nothing, and they just kind of like just speed right through. Like, what is it?
Yeah.
I saw a police car. He's trying to get through a crowd of people, and I think his lights and sirens were on, trying to I'm like, okay, I'm like, I don't know anything prior to this, but from what I can tell, this guy's trying to help somebody, and you guys are in the way, and they're banging on the door, and it got to the point where he kind of just speeded up a little bit, speed up. Then it got to the point where I could just tell the guy's like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not playing. He's like, I'm trying to get these guys to move. He speeds up. He starts speeding up, slows down. The guys are like backing off. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. One guy stays on his hood and he starts speeding off. And I'm like, and they're like, no, no, no. And I'm like, I don't know whether to feel bad for those people. I'm like, I don't know whether to feel bad for like the people. I don't know whether to feel bad for the cop. I'm like, first off, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the? I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, the guy's moving. I'm like, it's called move out of the way of the vehicle, not jump on and try causing damage to the vehicle. I'm like, and
Yeah. There's
I'm
definitely
just sick and tired.
Yeah, there's definitely been things both on both sides, and there's been a lot,
Yes.
and then there's been a lot of
And then you have,
there's been a lot of chaos in the quarantine. There's
and
just
what is
been
it?
a
And
lot
then
of
you have,
stuff.
and then you got then you have these sick freaks that are going out there, like holding guns, going out there,
Yeah,
like
I've been
trying to
seeing that.
instill
That's
pain.
crazy
I'm like,
too. Yeah,
why? No, and it's people on both sides. Like, there's more people. I find it was you have people on both sides that I don't think there's actually people on the Black Lives Matter bringing guns, but I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on that. But there's people, but like, what is it? There's like a 17-year-old kid or something
yeah,
like
you
that
saw
that
that.
brought a
Yeah.
gun that like they killed a guy. I'm like, whoa. I'm
No,
like,
he killed two people, or
he
he
killed
killed
two
one person,
people.
and he would. I think he wounded two people and killed one person. Or he
Okay,
killed two people and wounded one person. One of the way. I don't know.
I'm like, and
Dude,
then
but
and then
there was
I was
people
like,
defending him on Twitter though. They're like,
I'm like, what?
oh, the people were gathering around him. Like people were gathering around him after he started shooting, so they can try to take the gun from him. Like I'm
I'm
just,
like, you know, I'm like, this is bad. It's just bad. And now what is it? Now I was watching this really funny thing, and it was talking about the people, I forget what state it was, where they built they built an interstate in the side of the city. I think it was Chicago. They built like a wall, like preventing police officers from coming in, and
a
they were taking like
wall. What?
I forget
Really?
where it was, but it was some state or whatever. They built this wall around this like little part of the city to prevent, and they stopped all police officers from going in. They took over part of the city, and it was a democratic city too. They went in, and there were statistics showing like all the stuff. crime went up by like a couple hundred percentages, and people, and then they finally took down the wall. And I was reading this one thing. It's like,
Down the
remember when
wall.
and it's I was reading this thing there. It's like, remember when the Democrats said it's like, we don't want to. It's like, no, tear down the wall. Trump was like, oh, build the wall. And you're like, no, tear down the wall. And now it's now the
Like
now
a
these people
reverse.
who are now these people who people are considering Democrats are building a wall inside of a city, who are literally doing what they said we're not going to do, build a wall. And then what is it? They're saying it, preventing police officers from coming in, saying that, oh, it's like, oh, get rid of the police, it's going to stop crime. And then crime rises like a couple hundred percentages. I'm like, okay, okay, let's just see, where do we go wrong with this? Where could we have gone wrong?
There's been a. I'll have to look into that.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow, we're actually a bit more into this than I thought. What is it? It's time.
It's time.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
35 minutes.
Oh my! I was thinking that was. I was like,
I'm
didn't we start like 30 minutes ago already?
What is it? We talked about how I'm done with everything, and then we also talked about schools. So that's the podcast, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
all
the
for listening.
podcast.
Remember, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, whatever other podcast host there is. What is it? You can find this on YouTube. And we also post every 5 episodes. We post a live podcast, which we just had one on Friday, which was really fun. We enjoyed it. We hope all you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys next time. Yeah, I think that's everything. Oh yeah, follow us on Twitter at everything@30, and follow us on Instagram at everything@30.
Yep.
Yeah. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Deuces.